Welcome in a quick special edition of the PCFF Podcast. I didn't plan on putting anything out this week. Times are kind of busy around my job here in the middle of a college football season, but I was able to get a little time here, so I wanted to give you something, and I think I'm giving you a lot. It's a one-on-one with my buddy from the Cleveland Canine. He's the owner of the dogs. He is Charlie Carlson, joining me on the PCFF Podcast. Charlie, how you doing, buddy?
Doing awesome. How are you?
I'm good, and your canine are good as well. 2-1 right now. Did you expect to be in this position, Charlie, before the season started?
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
Not at all? Were you thinking 0-3?
Yeah, pretty much.
Why? Just because of the Peyton Manning factor?
The Peyton Manning factor and my draft.
Yeah, maybe not the best draft, but it certainly has panned out for you so far. Big game coming up this weekend against BP, the reigning champion, the Miami Militia. What do you think about that matchup?
I'm looking forward to it. I believe the sun is shining on my boys' ass.
Yeah.
And let's see, BP's posted a few things. Like when I was playing up against New York, he said New York was going to win by 18, and obviously that didn't come out. And then he said when I was playing against New Orleans that I wasn't going to win that day, and New Orleans was going to win by 11.
Okay. So underestimating the K9, you think that's going to come back to bite him in the ass now that the sunshine is on your guys' ass. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. There's a whole lot of ass going on.
There is a lot of ass on this edition of the podcast. Speaking of asses, you've been kind of an asshole to me, Charlie, calling me Winnie or Whiny.
I do appreciate that grammatical correction.
Do you not see the conspiracy I'm talking about? It's pretty clear to me.
No, I don't.
Okay, well, maybe my team isn't that good. Do you think that's the real truth behind all this?
No. If there's any conspiracy, it's the Canine are going to make it to the playoffs this year.
Well, maybe the forces driving me down are the same forces that are picking you up. Have you ever thought about that?
Yes, I have. That thought has occurred to me. I'm all about it.
And you're all for that. Charlie, I also want to say thanks for texting me during the Redskins-Cowboys Monday night game. I don't know if you know that I hate texting during a game, but for some reason yours were so entertaining, I continued to talk to you while the Redskins were completing their collapse Monday night.
Yeah, that was enjoyable. I knew you'd be watching the game.
I'm sure you did. We had our own little shit talk going week one. Luckily, my guys came out on top, but there early, Matt Forte and Shady McCoy were running all over me, so you had a little fun with that. So I'm looking forward to our next matchup because, for once, Charlie, we're not the laughing stock of the league, and that feels pretty darn good, doesn't it?
I'm not really sure how to feel about it. It's new and unusual for me.
Well, Charlie, you've had some things to say about the Militia. You say Brian Perry has overlooked you so far this season. You'll try to beat him this weekend. Anything else? I'll just name an owner, and you give me a few words that come to mind, if that's okay.
All
right. Let's start with my opponent this weekend, Brock Letchworth, and the Chicago shitty running backs. What comes to your mind?
The shit.
The shit, okay. Matt Hager and Tennessee 39ers.
I'm looking forward to them losing.
How about
happen sooner or later?
How about his brother, Daniel Hager, Carolina Crush owner?
I told him that if I could have given him 10 points last week, I would have.
Ah, okay, interesting. How about the guy that's in the position we're used to being in, Eric Summerlin, 0-3, super depressed, New York Criminals owner?
Yeah, I feel bad for him. I hope he's not suicidal. He just cut Hines Ward. I'm not sure how stable he is right now.
Yeah, that's Hines Ward was a born and bred to be a criminal, and that was really weird. That was a weird move. You going to pick him up on the waiver wire, or is that too much to ask you right now?
No, I have his replacement, Wallace, so there's no need.
No need for that, as Mike Wallace is burning up secondaries every single game. How about Blake Langston? The Seattle did get a win. They're 1-2. What do you think about Blake and Seattle?
I don't really pay attention to that other division down there at the bottom.
Okay, well, awesome. Well said. Who am I forgetting? Jameson Long, Vegas. Any words about the brash owner from Vegas?
Well, I believe he said with Peyton out, it's going to be a cold, long year in Cleveland. And I think that's coming back to bite him in the ass.
Yeah, a little bit. More ass talk here.
Yeah.
How about Gary Nolan's? Great roster, but they're only 1-2. That's a little strange, isn't it?
Gary and I have been trying to work out on a trade, and if I worked out these trades he's proposing to me, his team would definitely get better, but I don't see it happening.
It's funny you say that. I don't know what the league rules are on tampering, but he's trying to hit me with some trades. It's probably revolving around the same guy, I would guess, Charlie. Let's see. How about Jeff Charles, who in the preseason predictions had a comment about striking fear with a 2 tight end set, and you didn't take kindly to that, did you?
No. The voice needs to fear the 2 tight end set.
Oh, Charlie, thank you for. I didn't plan on doing any interviews this week, but I had a few minutes, and it worked out with your busy schedule. So thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thank you.
There he is, the owner of the Cleveland Canine, Charlie Carlson, joining us here on the PCFF podcast. Awesome to get Charlie. That's the first time we've talked to him on the podcast, and one of the first times I've had a one-on-one conversation with him like that. And he was very entertaining, a lot of ass talk, a lot of shit. But that's the owner of the Cleveland Canine, and it's a lot of fun right now with Charlie 2-1. He's got something to crow about, and I know this about Charlie, and maybe some of you will too once you play him. He's not afraid to talk some shit while his team is up or while your team is down, and that's what makes the PCFF so much fun. Hope you enjoyed this interview. Got one planned with Blake Langston coming up soon. Blake wanted to get on last week, and I couldn't find the time to get him in, so Blake, eager to come on. Can't wait to hear what he has to say, so we'll try to hook that up for you next week. Thanks for tuning in to this week's edition of the PCFF podcast. Everybody have a great week 4, and we'll talk to you again soon.